Well, I'm sorry if you're here for the first time and I'm the first person from the home office that you see. But there's one good thing about it, it's only going to get better. And like most people, you'll forget 95% of what we say today anyway, so it won't matter, right? But what is important is how you feel, don't you think? Because you'll forget all of the hows and whys and the whats and whens, and you'll remember certain things, but the one thing you'll feel, you think, man, I felt pretty good about that. There's something different about that. Or you might walk out and feel completely skeptical, because we only expect that about 20% of you are going to have a crack at this. But that's okay with us, because there's no such thing as no. We'll chase you again next time we see you. It's like Mormon missionaries, they'll never let you go. Trust me, I know. Gee, Mormon joke, great. Man, I'm so excited to be here. I'm just going to go down here for the cheap seats just to say hello to everyone. Oh, don't say, "Aw," you laughed first. You laughed and then felt bad and said, "Ah." Well, what's our company all about? What's our ethos? What's our philosophy? Because I think that's important. And I want to share that with you for a few minutes, if that's okay. Is that fine with you guys? It's a little bit about what drives us. And we have Greg with us today, and he's a remarkable man, and what a privilege it is for me to work with him. And I know I've seen his presentation, and he's going to share with you some fantastic insights into what our company's about and what drives us, because we're very principally based. Of course, I would say that, but I think what you'll see today and what you may have seen in the past, and definitely what you'll see in the future, will prove that, is that we try to walk the talk and do what we say that we'll do. And if I could have the first slide pop up, because I'm a long way from my clicker here. This started a long time ago. This isn't a new fad. Like Bob said in his presentation, this is now 36 years old. Back when Maggie Thatcher, is that right? Was she the prime minister back then? Half of the room just said, "Who?" You know, that's when we started. 36 years ago, we started doing this. And so if you are a little skeptical today, please think about 36 years of, like Bob said, 60-day money-back guarantee, how long we would have lasted if the product was crap. Right? Let's be frank. Let's get it out there, you know. I hope you don't mind my frankness. So Rex had an idea, a dream, a thought, and he said, you know what? I think if we could find a product that will help people look better and feel better, it might work out. And that was the whole plan. And so here's Rex back in the 1970s, and remarkable young man. Probably doesn't mean a lot to the new people, but he's the guy that started this whole thing rolling. And Greg, obviously, is his son, and he's the guy that's taking it forward now. Why do I tell you that? Because succession's important. The smart people in the room, and there's a lot of you, are thinking, what happens next? If I sacrifice my time and my talents and put it into this business opportunity, what's going to happen next? Well, you'll meet Greg later on, and you'll feel pretty comfortable about it. He's a pretty laid-back, approachable guy, and he's the guy that's going to take it into the future, along, hopefully, with me, and if I'm lucky, if I get this right today, and the rest of the team that you've met and will meet. So, and really, with this look better and feel better idea, Rex designed a payment structure, because we recognize that money is important, right? You know, even in today's world, you can't drink water without money. Now, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This isn't a money go-round. It's not like that. It's flipping hard work. But what I can tell you is you're rewarded. It's what I call one of the fairest opportunities in the world, because you get out what you put in. You heard 3 wonderful supervisor testimonials just now. Were well-educated, beautiful, smart, intelligent, intellectual young ladies stood up and said, I had everything except time. When you don't have time, you remove choice. And that's all we're offering is choice. The choice to do what you want to do. So there's our goal, is to help the world look better and feel better. That's a pretty lofty goal, and we're having a pretty good shot at it. We got over 10 million people having a go at it right now in over 150 countries. So we're proud of that. It's a good start. There's a lot of the world that we haven't touched yet. A lot of people in this room will probably change the world for others too, which is exciting about it. Now, here's where it gets fun. Our business is for everyone. Everyone and as John Curtis taught me 20 years ago, I was trying to think in Milton Keynes, he stood up in Milton Keynes and said, hey, we do business on both sides of the Jordan. And I thought that was a fantastic way to demonstrate that we do business anywhere. It's a business for everyone. But here's the kicker. This is the interesting part. Our business is available to everybody, but everyone doesn't want it. Don't take that personally, because you will only succeed if you want to achieve more and you want to help others. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? I want to be honest with you. It won't work out for you. It may in the short term, but results take time to measure. And in the longer term, it's going to be tough for you, because you have to be driven by a self-worth that is dependent on your ability to help other people succeed. If you have that, or even the kernel of the seed of that, you're going to rock and roll. Now, this is what I promise you. You're going to walk home or leave today, and you're going to feel pretty good. You're going to feel pretty excited about it, because we're good at this. You know what I mean? We put on great meetings, and everyone's smiling, and it isn't fake. It isn't a show. You know, it really is. You feel good, you feel confident, and you feel brave. Your upline or someone will suggest to you to make a couple of calls. And it may not, it may go like this. Hey, how you doing? Or as, you know, some of you might say, hello, love, you right? Or if you're Ireland, what's your crack there? Is that right? Or the Scousers. When you leaving? Is your house empty, like? Do you see that? Only the small one got the first part of that joke. I had to explain it, you know? Yeah, he's going to rob the house when you're gone, you know. So you'll say, I just got involved in something that's really exciting. We've got this great product where I think can help others look better and feel better. And you're all excited and you're ready to go. Are you interested? Can I come over? Can I talk to you? And the answer is no. Ooh. And it feels like someone's douched you, you know what I'm saying? It affects you. There's no doubt about it. Okay, they said to keep trying. I heard those great talks, and I'll make another call. Boom. No. It only happens to me, right? See or no? Help me. Has it happened to you? Third time. Hey, I got this great, but boom. No. One more time. This is the last one I'm going to do. Boom. No. And you quit. Because a lot of people do. And the remote control looks so inviting. It's just so wonderful. And you sit down and the chair says, welcome home. And you put on the television and watch Man United lose again. Just for Adam May, that one. Are you with me? Has that happened to you? All right, so this is what it's all about. It's just decision time, because that will happen. I promise you. Let's be honest with each other. You got to make a decision at that time. And I told this story 2 years ago, and I hope you don't mind me repeating it, but I know there's a couple of new people here today. But it's my favorite story, and it inspires me. And I have this favorite little creature that inspires me. In German, it's called a Hummel. Right? You remember that, Dietmar? Yeah, and I was in Kazakhstan, and they told me what it was, and I've forgotten. Can you see, how many people can say that? I was in Kazakhstan yesterday. How cool is that? That's my job. I go around the world kissing people. You know? The trouble is, in Serbia, it's men and women. And the women really need to shake. No, I'm just kidding. No, there's always a Serbian in the room that comes up. Yeah. That was a Scottish fellow, wasn't it? So this little tiny animal that's built a little bit strange, he's really fat. And he's got short little legs and short little arms. Hey, seriously, you guys. Well, thanks, Mom. I'm glad you're here. The bumblebee, right? Looks just like me. And I think that's why I love it so much. Now, the interesting thing about the bumblebee, we all know scientifically it's impossible for it to succeed. It's impossible because it's too fat and it has too much downward drag against these tiny little wings. And so all of the smart people in the world, all of the geniuses and the experts look upon the bumblebee, they make their measurements. Based on their past experiences, they make a judgment that says, you can't fly. Now, the problem is, no one told the bumblebee, right? Because the bumblebee has a set of wings. And what are wings for? To fly, right? That's all the bumblebee has in his mind. Are you here to fail or to succeed? Are you sure? Isn't that funny? Are you here to fail or succeed? Really think about that. Don't be embarrassed. This isn't an American thing, you know. Succeeding is English. And you can say, yes, I am here to succeed. Of course you are. You're this wonderful, immortal being here having a mortal experience to succeed, right? Just like the bumblebee. The bumblebee, I got wings, so he just says, flap them, right? He doesn't say how many times, how do I do it? Does it have polysaccharides in it? Does it have SLS in it? How many times do I do this or that? He just says, right? Woo! Oh, I am as dry as a jogging man's flip-flop. So he starts to flap. And he flaps and flaps and flaps. Now, does he have a number in his head? Yes or no? Of course not. He just has fly, right? So are you starting to get the analogy here, or do I have to paint it? So you go into, and we all do it, I'm going to make 5 phone calls. Am I the only one that does that? I'm just going to speak to 5 people. And if I speak to 5 people, it doesn't work out. Oh, it doesn't work. Now, okay, bumblebee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I quit. Screw this. I'm walking around the rest of my life. Right? So here you are with wings. Ironically enough, most of you are going to walk home. You get it? That's a joke. But there is a percentage of you that are going through a fundamental shift where they're going to say, you know what, this kid's right. I am going to succeed. I am going to be successful. Like the bumblebee, and he just gets going. And what happens, this is the funny part, and you've never experienced this, you'll never fly. It doesn't work. It's a scam. It's stupid. It'll take all your money. Am I the only one that's ever heard that? What does the bumblebee do? Just keep flapping, right? He just keeps trying, he keeps trying. How many times does the bumblebee need to flap his wing in order to fly? You're a vet. What do you mean you don't know? I don't know. Stick a tube in its ass. Sorry about that, David. Honestly, you're worth every penny. So the bumblebee needs to flap its wings 200 times in 1 second. And who's that relevant to? Not the bumblebee. He doesn't care. But imagine for 1 minute if the bumblebee 199. Hey, Soph, is that a thumbs up or down? Thumbs up, okay. What do you mean, no? I look like a bumblebee, right? Yeah, watch me fly. So, right here, 199, 200. 199, 200. You get it? Don't quit. Now, how do you succeed with this new mindset that I'm not, this isn't based on numbers. You'll hear it is a numbers game in the sense that you have to talk to a lot of people, but don't measure that in the sense of, okay, I'm going to speak to X amount and be successful. Unfortunately, our timetable rarely comes to fruition. It's usually to do with, someone else's timetable, unfortunately. Social media. Most of you in this room are active on Facebook and successful on Facebook. Social media is a phenomenal tool. The internet is amazing. I love it. I embrace it. I love watching dogs and cats and animals perform all these things. I love hearing about your trips to the school, and it's funny because I really do enjoy that. I have a new love of animals. I mean that sincerely. You see, like an elephant falls over, a mommy elephant comes and picks it up. Without Facebook, I never would have known that. But my point is that embrace all of these tools that enable you to speak to more people or to flap more effectively. Because if we focus on sort of channels that are traditional, so to speak, then unfortunately we're not flapping to enough people. So embrace these things. Now, if you are from a more educated, I think that's the wrong word, if you're older, and you'll shake your fist at it, just like my folks did. I don't know that stupid bass face. And my mum Scouse actually said, I don't know about that. But she is the one that's missing out, right? So it doesn't matter what point of view you come from, you have to embrace these new technologies. And Dan's going to come out here in a few minutes and explain a little bit more about the tools we have to enable you to do that. But please, be careful. Everyone can see what you say. So be professional. Be aware of the compliance issues. Don't make medical claims. Don't make income claims. You don't need to do that. The product will do the job for you if you get it into the hands of people for the right reasons. The business will do it for you if you get it into their hands for the right reasons. Does that make sense? There's no shortcut to success. So embrace all of the channels in order to flap more. But with that being said, you cannot replace the importance of getting person to person. It's so important that you develop relationships in our business. That really is what it is. Make someone your friend and then go to business with them. That's the power of Forever. As Rex says, the power of Forever is the power of love. And that truly is what this is all about. Now, you don't have to physically sit in a coffee shop with a person. That's a great environment, but you don't have to do it that way. We're provided with phenomenal, cost-effective tools nowadays like Skype and WebEx meetings and all these things that enable you to do that. But my point is, don't think that by blasting out a message to 2,000 people on Facebook, I'm working. Right? You're just one flap out of 200. You've still got to follow up with good personal messaging and good individual contact, because our job is to personalize the message. When that young lawyer was here today, and forgive me, I didn't catch her name, but she was up here explaining it. If I would have approached her in a way that I would have approached maybe a farmer, that message wouldn't have resonated, wouldn't have worked. So you have to learn to personalize your message. So person to person is vitally important in this world of impersonal interaction. We're friends with everybody and know nobody. Does that make sense? And if you don't believe me, what is the birth date of your neighbor? Right? But yet you know half of the birth dates of 100 people that are on Facebook. Why? Because it's a hell of a lot easier on Facebook than just to walk up and say, hey, when's your birthday, mate? Does that make sense? Get personal with it and you'll get successful. Now, a lot of people say all over the world, what's the key to success? How can I be successful? So we asked Rex, and these are the things he gave us. The first thing is, he said to us, work hard. This is hard work. Folks, I want you to have a very real understanding of that. It's hard work. It's inconvenient at times, but as you heard today, there is huge convenience to it because you choose the hours you work. Does that make sense? You don't choose not to work because you'll get nothing out of it. So it is hard work. So that flapping concept is part of that. The second thing is fix it and move on. Now, this is very important. If not, for me, the most important thing on here, somebody at some time will upset you. They will say something, and I probably said it today, that you want to take offense to. I've insulted everyone probably across the whole human gamut, but I don't mean it. right? People will interact with you in a way which will upset you at some point. That's the one guarantee I can give you today. Fix it and move on, or you're going to be affected negatively in your business. Is that a fair comment? Be mature about it. Be grown up. Find common ground. Don't get angry. Create a group and shake your fist at heaven. There's nothing good about that. There's nothing positive in that. That's just not for our business. That's for all of our lives. Fix it and move on. What powerful words they are. Think about that and what you can do in your business life, and if you don't mind me suggesting, in your personal life in order to do that. Because I could tell you, when this was driven home to me, it revolutionized the way that I feel about myself and those around me. And I'm only just learning how to do it, I tell you, because I can take offense better than anybody. And the last one there is, this is a symbiotic experience. You've got to be willing to help others. If it's not in your nature, you're going to struggle until you learn how. And now, I believe that everyone's nature has to help other people. And you can see that evidence throughout the world, at any one time. These are the three factors that we believe that will aid to your success. Work hard, work smart, speak to as many people as you can. Don't stop speaking to them. If issues arise, fix it, move on. Don't hang on to them, and then be willing to help others succeed as well. As Zig Ziglar famously said, you build people, and the people build the business. Does that make sense? I can promise you, I've been in this business now for 20 years. And of course, I'm going to tell you it's fantastic. That's my job to do that. But I want for a moment, as you go through this day, to be able to think about all of the people that stand on the stage and explain to you exactly the same thing as I am. It works. I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world, from the very north of Russia, the very south of Africa, very east, very west. And I've seen all cultures, creeds of people, colors of skin, and there's one thing that I've learned is our motivational factors are identical and forever works perfectly in all of those environments if you're willing to keep flapping. I wish you a phenomenal day. I hope that you pick up on some of the excitement that we have to share with you. Thank you for your time, and remember, go out and be a bumblebee. Thank you.